Hong Kong doesn't only hire teachers from the 7 nations like Korea and China does. Hong Kong hires you from anywhere in the world if you can meet their requirements. Super competitive is what this place is. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome to our family. I hope you're going to be enjoying your stay here. Happy New Year, guys. I have so much information to share. I have tea, darlings. I have tea. Guys, please forgive me, but I am getting the flu again for the millionth time. So I do sound a little bit congested, but we are going to get the information out regardless. Okay, so in this video, what we're going to cover is information about my job, where I work, how I got my job. Firstly, I have been getting a lot of questions about my job. Where did you get your job? What kind of job are you at? A kindergarten, international school? The international school question took me out because there's no way. There's no way that I would be working at an international school. I don't have the credentials. Anyway, so where do I work? I work for an aided primary school. We all call them public schools. But what happens in Hong Kong is that organizations actually own these schools. Okay, so my school is not owned by the government, it's owned by an organization. However, they are government funded. That's why we call them aided schools. Okay, so you'll get the primary schools and you'll get secondary schools. I work for one of those. I got the job through an agency. I'm not going to disclose the name of my agency, and I'll tell you why, guys. Hong Kong is very small. Everybody knows everyone. The agency directors know each other. Okay, they work together. The principals at these schools know each other. So if you're thinking of coming here to disrespect your principal, they're going to be posting your information in their WhatsApp group, and all the other schools are going to know not to hire you. I'm not going to disclose the name of my agency simply because I want to tell you guys about the contents inside the contract. What I will do is that when I give information in the description box, I may just throw the name in there, okay? And then you will just apply to all of the agencies, I guess. Maybe one day you'll discover which one it is, but they all have the same kind of contract actually. But I'm just not going to do that for reasons of protecting my job and obviously my reputation. I'm wondering now if I should even share information about my contract. Okay, anyway, so, and it's nothing negative really, but I do have obviously a thing or two to say about the actual agency. But I'm mostly going to be criticizing their contract, which is something they obviously would not want to hear. Okay, so I got my job through an agency. The application process was easy. I didn't have to get a degree verification for my country, so you don't need any of that, right? Yay, you don't need that. It's a trap, okay? You don't need a police clearance from your home country. I didn't need one, although I had already done one, because when you arrive in Hong Kong, they will do their own police clearance. It costs 140 Hong Kong dollars and it takes about 2 to 3 days. Yeah, very easy, right? So what you'll do is you'll apply with the agency. You will have interviews. If they like you, they will accept you into their agency, okay? That does not mean you have a job. Okay, it's not like Epic where if you pass your Epic interview, you know you're guaranteed the school. So they accept you into the agency so that they can represent you when you're looking for schools. So all of the agencies send all of our CVs to the various schools. So it's not just you by yourself at that school. It's you, the other teachers in the same agency you're in, and other teachers from other agencies. Okay, if the school wants to interview you, they'll let you know. The school wants to interview you, and the interview means absolutely nothing, guys. It means absolutely nothing because the school has to go back to the agency to say, yes, we want this teacher. Now, ever since being part of the agency, I've had 3 interview offers, okay? First interview, I declined. I don't know why I declined that. You don't come in and start declining interviews, guys. But the location of the school seemed a little bit too far out from where I wanted to be. And that's the other thing with Hong Kong. Very, very important thing, guys. You don't come into Hong Kong and start being picky. You don't do that, because the jobs are not per district. They're not going to say in this district we have these schools, in that district we have that school. They literally send your CV to all of their partner schools. So you could be placed on some far off island away from Hong Kong Island and Maine, like the Kowloon area, right? So you cannot come here and start being picky. So me over here, I was like, it's a little bit too far out. I don't want it. I have faith that I'll get something else. Okay. Got a next interview offer. It was also still a little bit far out, but much closer than the previous job. I did the interview. The interviews, panel interviews, okay? So you'll usually have from 2, 3, 4, could be 5 people even interviewing you. And in that interview, I had 4 people interviewing me, okay? This interview took place last year in June, all right? Just before I went to Korea. And in this interview, something was really strange. I was interviewed by the Hong Kongers, okay, which are Chinese people from Hong Kong, and 2 other foreign teachers. The accents sounded like they were from Europe. In Hong Kong as well, guys, Hong Kong doesn't only hire teachers from the 7 nations like Korea and China does. Hong Kong hires you from anywhere in the world if you can meet their requirements. Super competitive is what this place is. So anyways, I did the interview. A lot of the questions were based on things I had never done before, okay? And when the interview ended, I thought to myself, damn, this seems like a nice school, but I know I didn't get this one. Because sometimes you just know, guys. It's not that we don't have faith, but sometimes you just know that this particular job is not a job I'm going to get, because I had not done any of the stuff they mentioned, okay? I had not even touched their curriculum, don't even know what the curriculum is about. So I kind of knew that perhaps these ones, they're not going to take me. So while the agencies send our CVs out, the teachers who are already in Hong Kong are also sending their CVs to the same damn schools. If you were a principal, who would you pick? Are you going to pick a new teacher? Or are you going to pick a teacher who already knows the Hong Kong schooling system? Obviously, they'll take the teachers who do have Hong Kong experience, because Hong Kong experience is key in Hong Kong. If you have Hong Kong experience, it helps you open other doors, you know. So anyway, I obviously didn't get the job. I went to Korea. And when I went to Korea, guys, I packed my bags. Because in my head, I knew that end of August, I'm going to be in Hong Kong, like it or not. And my parents asked me, they said, okay, what happens when you don't get the job in Hong Kong? Like, you're packing to do this Korea gig for 2.5 months, and then you're sure you're going to Hong Kong. And I was like, yes, I will be in Hong Kong. I know what I have. I know what I'm capable of. I'm going to get the job in Hong Kong. However, when I got to Korea, I did start to panic a little bit, because July then arrived and I thought, August is coming. September, the semester starts, and the agency usually tells you not to panic. Some schools hire teachers a little bit later, just relax. But I was getting a little bit worried. And what did I do? I started to plan. All right. My plan was that if I didn't get the job here in Hong Kong by the time my contract ended in Korea, I was going to stay in Korea until December or January somehow. I was going to find a job. I know I was going to get it, okay? And then in Feb, I was going to apply to go elsewhere. Because the jobs in Hong Kong, guys, they will start in August, September, okay? It's highly unlikely that you will get hired from the outside of Hong Kong for like a Feb position or in between the year. Those are jobs for people inside Hong Kong. You will not get any intakes happening the beginning of the year. It does not work like mainland China. Anyway, July arrives and I'm low-key panicking. And second week of July arrives, I get an interview from the school, the first thing I look at is the location of the school. I look at the location, I'm like, yes. I want to be at the school. I go into the internet, I Google them, I'm like, oh my gosh, they've got STEM activities, they've got this, that. Yes, I want to work at the school. I agree to the interview. I do the interview. By the way, the interview, should I digress quickly? Remember there was a time I told you guys about drama happening in Korea. The day before, my co-worker in Korea, right, asked me to swap classes with him because there's a particular class he didn't want to teach. He felt that they were too rowdy, and I was like, no man, those kids are cool, I'll take those kids. We confirmed the timetable. Later in the day, I get an email from Hong Kong to say, listen, the school wants to interview you, and they give me a time for it. Looked at the time and I thought, it's clashing with the class I'm now supposed to do, the new class for my co-worker, okay, because our classes were actually an hour apart. So I sent him a message. I'm like, listen, I'm so sorry to do this to you last minute, but something really important has come up. I have a Zoom that I cannot afford to miss tomorrow. So it looks like we're going to have to swap back. Okay. So he then says to me, can you not change the Zoom? And I'm like, no, I know you're kidding, right? So I say to him, I know you're kidding. He's like, no. Usually I would be kidding, but I'm really serious about this. Like, can you not reschedule? So I'm like, no, I cannot. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. The following day, I get to work, nervous because I've got this interview coming, but very excited at the same time. So my coworker says to me, listen, we need to talk. So I'm like, okay, this is 5 minutes before I have my first class of the day. We need to talk. So I'm like, okay. And he said, I feel really insulted by what you did yesterday. Insulted. Guys, I sat there for a moment and I'm like, did I insult him? What did we talk about yesterday? So he says, the fact that you are now telling me that we're swapping classes, you're not even asking me if it's okay or not. I feel so insulted by that. So I'm like, I'm sorry you felt insulted. It was never my intention. I thought you would understand if I said I had a Zoom I couldn't get out of. Something could have clicked to you that it's a really important Zoom. So he then says to me, but your Zoom is not my problem. Like, it's not my problem that you have a Zoom. I can simply just tell you that now. So I'm like, what do you mean, dude? Listen, I don't want to tell you my personal business. I actually have an interview. That's why we have to swap back. So then he says to me, but that's not my problem. Did you at least try to change with the school and try and get a different time? My guy, are you being for real? Guys, I paused for a moment, okay? But deep inside, I was burning. I was boiling. And I said, excuse me, what do you mean? Was I supposed to change with the school? Listen, I need this opportunity. I need this job, okay? You know I'm here on a part-time basis. There is no room for me to be changing interview times with the school. Then he said, okay, no, but we need to tell the boss, that you've got an interview. And I'm like, wait, why are you trying to involve the boss in our matters? When we did this whole arrangement, we didn't tell the boss. Why are we telling the boss? Yes, we told the assistant boss that we're just swapping. She didn't ask any questions. So why are we involving them? No, it's the right thing to do. You have to be open. I'm like, I'm not going to be open about my business. This is my personal business. Then he says, yeah, but the thing is that in a work situation like this, I mean, everyone is bound to know your business. I was like, no, not everyone is bound to know my business. Do they know that you're planning to leave? I don't think so. I know that was low of me to say that, but that's the truth. Do they know? No, they don't know that. I've kept it to myself. But here you are wanting to expose me and the fact that I'm going to be doing an interview during work times. Don't try me. Don't try me. So I ended up going to the assistant boss to tell her, listen, we are swapping our classes back. Guys, literally, her response was, okay. As in, why the hell are you telling me? Because at work, we were allowed to do that. You can swap classes as many times as you like with anyone. As long as the students are getting taught, they don't care. So anyway, that's the drama that happened. Okay, sorry for digressing. Back to this interview. So I had the interview 2nd week of July at work. I went upstairs, found an empty office, had the interview, and Asked me about doing some English boards. Would you be able to do this? Would you want to do this, that? And I said, look, I've never done it before. I'm willing to learn how to do it, and it's not for me to say what I want to do in the job. I'm ready to work. Literally say that. That was the end of the interview. Then I had to do another introduction interview for the principal. Goodness. And I knew after that it was a done deal, man. I've got the job. So a day later, my agency got back to say, the school wants to hire you. Are you good? And I was like, good. So I moved to Korea without the Hong Kong job, guys. Very risky, but I'm glad it worked out. So I work as an ALTA, which is an English language teaching assistant, with my coworker. You guys have seen her, right? So we actually teach in the classes together with a local teacher. At times we have 2 local teachers, and there are 4 teachers. Classes are 35 minutes each. They go by so quickly. And in the lesson plans, we have to all be doing something. Splitting the work is a nightmare at times because I sometimes find myself wanting to do everything in the lesson because the lessons are quite fun. So that is how our working arrangement goes. The school pays the agency takes a cut of our salary, then they pay us. That's the part about agency jobs, guys. They do take money from your salary. And what does the contract include for working as part of an agency? So what you'll get is the contract. Your contract can be anything between 6 months to 10 months. You're not going to get a 1-year contract with an agency, guys. That is something you can forget. Your contracts are very short. What happens when your contract ends? Do you renew with the school? Do you find another school? 2 things can happen. Number 1, they could put you in a school that doesn't do renewals. There are people who have to start looking for new jobs because their schools don't do renewals. Number 2, your school can renew you. If your school renews you, you like the school, you like the offer, good for you. But your contract ends, let's say, for example, in June. The new semester starts in September. Your last salary is going to be in June. July and August, you're not contracted by anybody. The agency is not going to be paying you. You are not in the new school contract yet. So those 2 months, you still have to pay rent. Those 2 months, you still have to live. You still need to pay everything else and make sure that life still continues as normal without the salary. So you need to factor all of that in when you take these kind of agency jobs. Agency jobs don't come with accommodation, guys. You pay your own accommodation. I am paying my own accommodation. We'll talk about this later when we talk about apartments in Hong Kong. Transportation is expensive in Hong Kong. Korea is so cheap. I pay a lot because I use 2 subways to work. There is no medical insurance. There is no medical insurance in these contracts. So you are going to rely on the public healthcare system, which is great, okay? But the problem is that you also don't just walk in and say, hey, my throat is sore, I need to see a doctor ASAP. No. There's an app that we use and we need to book appointments on the app. When I had tonsillitis last month, I ended up going to a private doctor who charged me around 670 Hong Kong dollars for consultation and medication. I couldn't get a slot at the public hospitals. What I did is I decided to get quotations from medical aid companies, and guys, medical aid is quite expensive in Hong Kong. I need to ponder on this further because there's nothing really serious that I suffer from, obviously, except from flu and tonsillitis. I don't mind paying private care for those. If something major really happens to me, the hospitals will definitely admit me. You don't have to do the appointment because it is an emergency. What else don't they come with? Oh, vacation days. So you'll get the public holidays that everybody gets. And you'll get the school holidays that the school has. They follow Western and they follow some Chinese holidays. So you'll get the Christmas break, that's about 9 days. You'll get Chinese New Year, that's about 9 days. You'll get Easter holidays, that's about 5 days. Okay? And then obviously the other public holidays. There is no summer vacation. Summer vacation usually starts mid-July till September. No one is really contracted during the summer holidays. That's how smart these agencies are with these contracts. You are not going to be contracted, so you're not going to be getting paid anyway. You take the whole summer holiday thing out of your minds now. And that's about it you get with the agency contracts. In my case, my contract is a little bit different because I now have 2 jobs from the agency. I have some classes that I teach on Saturdays at a different primary school, teaching grade 1s and grade 2s. And obviously, I get more money because of that job. When you do arrive at the agency, they'll ask you if you want part-time jobs. You sign up, and how they do the allocation of the jobs, no one knows. All I saw was an inbox coming onto my WhatsApp to say, we have these available positions, which one do you want? I chose one, and that was it. So yes, it's great. I've got 2 jobs. Working on Saturdays is not fun, but I actually enjoy this job quite a lot. It's quite easy. They give you the materials. I love the students. The English level is actually similar to my students' English levels. And it gets me out a little bit more, because if I didn't have this job, I actually fear that I would have been indoors quite a lot on weekends. So it gets me up and gives me an opportunity to explore Hong Kong. I don't feel like there's proper support from agencies, because when I went to go and do my visa, they'll give you the steps on how to do your visa. No one is going with you, like in Korea. No one is going with you to do any police clearance or whatnot. No one is going with you to open a bank account. No one is going with you to look for a cell phone contract or to look for accommodation. You're here on your own. You have to navigate this life here on your own. I went through so much by myself when I arrived, okay? There was a time where I was looking for accommodation. 4 weeks at a hotel, 1 week at Airbnb. I spent a shitload of money, guys. I must actually still calculate and tell you guys the cost of moving to Hong Kong, because I've never done that. There was a time where the bank, oh, that bank that I dislike. I've had the bank swallow my money twice. Hate this bank. What else has happened here, guys? Fortunately, I haven't been late for work or anything like that. Everything's fine. I got lost going to the police station. I was frustrated. Just so many things have been happening. For the most part, my job is amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. So just to recap on that. Agency jobs, you will not get accommodation. You will not get medical insurance. Any kind of support that you think you'll get. Part 2 of the video, we are going to discuss the different types of jobs you can get in Hong Kong, the requirements, and if you really want to come and work in Hong Kong. I will see you in the next video.